Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the first Canon Collector vlog. Today we're going to be working on a couple different things, and then we're going on a little fun adventure a little bit later on. We have to get through the Obi-Wan Anakin comic, do all of the writing and recording for that, and then we are going to go out and try to see if we can locate a hardcover copy of Queen's Shadow. A little snowy out here up in New England, but right now we got to get inside so we can write and record that bad boy. We are now sitting down to work on the plot summary for the Obi-Wan and Anakin Comic Series that came out. Let's see how this goes. Page 1, down. These really don't look like Anakin and Obi-Wan, I gotta be honest. That does not totally feel like Ewan McGregor to me, and that does not totally feel like Hayden Christensen. And that feels like a much older Obi-Wan than maybe he should be here. This feels more like them. Look at that. See, that is Ewan McGregor. That is Hayden Christensen. He looks maybe a little older than he does in the other one, but I like this variant. This variant is nice. All right, let's dive in. See how this bad boy is. We are going to do a little recording, and then we're heading out a little bit later on to do some fun stuff, so hang tight. Looks on at his destruction and shame as we flash back in time to Obi-Wan and Anakin at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This comic is super similar to the other comics that we've read in this timeline binge. I feel like I'm really starting to notice a trend here. A civil war on a planet, the Jedi are dropped in to help figure the whole thing out. Now, I understand that that's a big part of the Jedi. They are peacekeepers. They are peace seekers. They want to try to help these civilizations, and that's a big part of their job. But this is starting to get a little boring. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a little too similar for me. I'm seeing very, very similar story beats in all of these comic series, and I'd like it to kind of change. I'd like something different to happen, to be honest with you. We're getting a lot of cool information that we don't necessarily get in the other comic series, like Anakin's relation to Palpatine, and actually the fact that Anakin wanted to walk away from the Jedi Order at one time. But again, this is a little similar. It's fine. It's interesting Star Wars stories, and I'm happy to be getting them, but I'm also really ready to see something else. I don't know if maybe this was an initiative in an era of Star Wars when they were working on some of these publishing things, that some of the stuff is fairly similar, or if this is just like safe bets for them, at least at the time when they were putting a lot of this stuff together. But again, I'm really hoping for something else to happen pretty soon, because I'm a little bored. All right, so we are on our way. Do a couple little errands. We gotta see if we can find a hardcover copy of Queen's Shadow, which is the next book in our Canon Timeline binge. So I am traveling out to do that, see if we can hunt down one of those. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to Star Wars books. I like to have the hardcover copy, man. Paperbacks are great, but as far as collection and display goes, the rest of it is hardcover. So I think I need to stay true to that. This book came out a little bit ago, so I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to find one, but we're gonna go give it a good effort. It's a little snowier out here than I maybe would have liked, but that is what it is when you live in New England. We're in a Jeep, we should be okay. Also, I want to sniff around a little bit, see if we can find any other little Star Wars goodies out in the world, since we'll be out and about anyway. I also should probably pick up some more hard drive space because we are running low. One thing you don't necessarily think about when you're starting a YouTube channel is just the sheer amount of data and space that it will take up. I had a fair bit of it already, but you can always use more. And it would really ease my mind if I don't have to clear out the hard drive space constantly to do what we got to do. But that is the main goal for today. So we'll be doing that. We'll be grabbing some lunch, and we'll see what we can find out in the world. So we're here at good old Barnes & Noble, gonna see what they got for us in regards to this hardcover copy of Queen's Shadow. We'll see. All right, so we're here over at the actual Star Wars novel section. Looks like we have a bunch of the new High Republic stuff here. A couple other little cool books and whatnot. Lots of paperbacks. Seems like they've stocked up on paperbacks here. A couple hardcover books, which I might take a look at. But nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing that sticks out to me that's not currently in my collection. A lot of Legends books and other things. Unfortunately, no Queen's Shadow over here. So not a whole lot in the way of actual novels. Didn't see it over there, but we're checking the young adult section now, which tends to have some stuff. We can see Claudia Gray's new book right here, Into the Dark. And let's see if they have any E.K. Johnston. No. So it looks right here. We do have Queen's Shadow, the paperback version, but it doesn't look like we have any hardcover copies. We'll keep searching around, see if they have anything hidden around here, but that, unfortunately, might be it for us. Found a couple other little ones over here hidden away. A little Poe Dameron action and the Force Collector book, which I already have that one. The Poe Dameron one, I might have to pick that one up, but we'll see. That's a little bit later on in the timeline, so I might hold off. We'll play it by ear, see what else they got here. Over here in Comic Land, looks like we got a couple things. Looks like the new Phasma, I think this is fairly new, hardcover trade paperback. That's kind of cool. A couple other little doodads and knickknacks over here, but the majority of which I've already have or I own through Comixology. I think we have another section over here. This lightsaber collection book. I've been looking at this thing, and I'm pretty interested. It's definitely nothing that I couldn't say get on the internet, but it is a cool piece to have, a nice little coffee table book. Over here now in the old Lego section, looking for some Star Wars stuff. Doesn't seem like we have any of the Star Wars arts, but we do have all of this, and we even have that Stormtrooper helmet. I've been looking for one of those for quite a while now, so that might be something we might have to pick up here. A couple brickheads, a couple other cool little knickknacks, but nothing too crazy or unusual for Star Wars Lego. Over here now in Pop World, not a whole lot going on as far as Star Wars stuff goes. Looks like we have a few over here, and then a couple over here. We got this Kylo and Rey, which is pretty interesting. That looks pretty cool, but nothing too thrilling as far as Pops goes. Totally missed this earlier, but they have a UCS A-Wing just sitting here. That's pretty cool. Wish I had the space for that bad boy. Let me tell you, this would be a nice addition if I had the room. So unfortunately, nothing too fruitful at Best Buy today. We were able to find a Queen's Shadow paperback version, but not a hardcover copy. The rest of the book section didn't necessarily spark any feelings inside me. I have a lot of it, and then the other stuff is a lot of paperbacks and some Legends books. There was a couple good Lego sets that they had there, but I don't know if I should go pick one up. So I'm going to press on to Target right now and go check out what they got over there. Maybe we'll go hit up Best Buy and then maybe head our way back here to Barnes & Noble to pick up that Stormtrooper helmet. Maybe. That's a maybe. I got to see how I feel. And I definitely need to grab some lunch, so gotta figure out where to do that too. The music is really freaking loud over here. Doesn't look like I'm seeing anything Star Wars-y over in the book section. They usually have one or two books, but oh, here we go. Looks like we have Empire Strikes Back Certain Point of View book. I've already picked that up, so unfortunately that's off the list, but let's see. Doesn't really look like they have much else. So nothing too great over here in the pop section. We do have a few, like rows here, a couple other ones, but nothing that's too out of the ordinary. But we do have a big Dio pop, which is kind of cool. But other than that, not a whole lot over here that I would add to the collection. Lego section also looking pretty bare today. We have a display for these sculptured helmets here, but nothing really all too much going on down here. A couple battle packs, which is neat. I really can't justify that today. Doesn't look like we got lucky unless they want to break open this case right here and let me have one of these. I'm sure that's probably not a thing. Over here too in the Star Wars toys aisle is looking very bare. Not a whole lot. Couple cool lightsabers, Chewbacca mask, but that's about it. Maybe even a Monopoly. It's kind of cool. Look at this though. I did find some Sith art, which is pretty cool. This is one of the things I've been thinking about getting to replace a photo on my set up currently, so that might be something I gotta do. $120 for that bad boy. This is a decision I'm gonna have to think about. So, another fruitless adventure. No. Whatever, it's good to get out of the house. So, unfortunately, nothing that great over at Target. Did see the Sith Lego art, though. It's something I've been thinking about getting. I have a nice picture that I'd like to replace with something Star Wars-y. Thinking about doing that, but I think at this point, I would rather have the Stormtrooper helmet versus the Sith art. Definitely going to get that Sith art at some point in time, but I don't know if today is the day. I think we're going to go head over and get some lunch. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, though. Probably just end up at my mainstay, Chipotle. Why not? That's my go-to. While I devour that stuff, I think I'm going to get a little head start on Queen's Shadow and start listening to some of the audiobook. I would have loved to have the hardcover book, but I want to try to get this thing up and running as soon as I can so I can start working on that plot summary. So I do have the Kindle version, so I will be able to read along, but for right now, I think we're just going to listen to the intro of it and start to get a feel for all that stuff. So far, so good on Queen's Shadow. Definitely in the lines of what I was expecting, a little bit of tie-over from Queen's Peril, or at least what we see in Episode 1. And there is some little nods in there, at least where we start, or at least I think that's the case, from Queen's Peril. And I actually kind of think that me reading Queen's Peril first and now listening to this, I kind of skip over a lot of I already know who these characters are, who all these handmaidens are, so I think that this is going to be an easy read. But don't hold me to that, because it could be very, very different. I don't know. I think I'm going to head over to Best Buy and look at some hard drives and stuff, and then kind of make my decision from there. And they usually have some fun Star Wars and other kind of Lego and some other stuff there, so we'll take a peek at that and see what they got, and then we'll assess where we're at with either the Stormtrooper helmet or the Sith art, or hopefully something fun. Hopefully we walk away with something fun today. My wallet hates me, but it is what it is. So this doesn't look good. Kind of looks like Best Buy may be closed. So I'm not sure if they're open or not. Saw somebody in there, but who knows what that means. Somebody else is pulling up here, so I might just hang on and wait and see what they do before I go in. So it looks like Best Buy is appointment only right now, and I do not have an appointment. I'm sure I could probably make one, but yeah, this is the universe telling me to do other things. So I'm going to figure out if we're going to go pick up a hard drive maybe somewhere else, or if we're going to swing back somewhere and potentially think about grabbing one of those Lego sets. We'll see. All right, so I'm calling an audible. I don't want to lose sight of why I am actually out on this mission today, which is to find a hardcover copy of Queen's Shadow. I'm going to go head out to another Barnes & Noble and see what they have there. And there's also a Staples nearby, so maybe we'll go pick up a hard drive there if the price is right. If not, we're going to search for both of those things on Amazon or some other online retailer, because I can't be out here all day looking for stuff like this. I can't justify it for Legos and a hardcover book. But if they don't have any fun Legos or anything out there, then that's just going to have to be what it is. It's probably for the best. My wallet will be happy if I don't do something like that. But hey, you got that Stormtrooper helmet there. I'm going to take it as a sign from the universe that that's the thing that we need. So we'll see what happens. All right, we made it at our second Barnes & Noble of the day. Let's go in and see if they have anything different than the last one we checked out. So, looks like nothing all that different than what we had at the last Barnes & Noble. But a few other items here. Some hardcover copies of that Certain Point of View book. A few other little items down here. But, unfortunately, nothing all that different. No Queen's Shadow just yet. But we'll have to go over to the young adult section to take a look at some of that stuff. Found some stuff down here, which is pretty interesting. And they actually have this Art of Rebels book, which I've been having my eye on, so that's definitely an option. Not anything that I'm particularly looking for, though. Over here now in young adult, looks like we got the Ahsoka book in paperback, as well as a paperback Queen's Shadow and a hardcover Queen's Peril. We already have Queen's Peril, so it does not look like they have a Queen's Shadow here. So unfortunately, we once again are a little out of luck. In this other young adult section, they also have Claudia Gray's new High Republic book, but unfortunately, no Queen's Shadow to be found. Over here in the comics section, we have a couple Star Wars comics, but nothing too big at all over here. Definitely a slim section for comics. Found a couple cool models here though. Not really a big model kit fan, but definitely some cool Star Wars stuff here as well. If we come over here though, this is definitely the stuff we've been after. We see the Stormtrooper helmet right there. We have a couple different art sets here, the Sith art, and we actually have a Boba Fett helmet, which is actually one that I've been looking for quite a while now and haven't been able to find it. So I think this is going to be our purchase for the day. So unfortunately, Barnes & Noble #2 did let us down a little bit. They did not have a hardcover copy of Queen's Shadow, but I think that that's probably pretty typical at this point in a book's life cycle. They had the paperback version, not the hardcover copy, so I think it's going to be kind of difficult for me to hunt one of those down. So I think my best option is going to be to look online for that. I did stop into a Staples to see what they had for hard drives, but there weren't really many good deals there. Nothing that I felt comfortable purchasing right now. So I think as well, we're going to have to look online for those too. The Funko Pop section and the comics section at this Barnes & Noble were not very good at all. I didn't really see anything that stuck out to me, but thankfully, I'm not really in the market for any new comics or any new Star Wars Funko Pops. I'm pretty stocked up on those for right now. What I was looking for, what I was debating earlier, the Stormtrooper helmet. They did have the Stormtrooper helmet, and not only did they have that, and they had some other fun Star Wars Lego sets, but they had a Star Wars helmet, Lego helmet that I've been looking for quite a while, the Boba Fett helmet. So thankfully, they had this guy, and we picked that up. So I am super, super happy and stoked for that. So that's something I've been looking for a little while now. It was pretty readily available at the beginning of December, and then once Christmas hit, everything became just sold out. Not only just with the Boba Fett helmet or the helmets in general, but the majority of Lego was it was like a Lego apocalypse for a while. It's starting to come back now, but nothing even that crazy. It's not like the Lego aisle that I remember from pre-apocalypse. So I was super excited to see this guy and really happy to pick it up. Probably will pick up those other helmets at some point in time, but this was definitely the way to go today. They also had that Sith art there that we were looking at Target, but again, it's one of those things that I will probably purchase at some point in time, but I don't want to get right now when there's a set sitting there that I absolutely wanted and have been wanting for a little bit. So this was perfect. This was great. Still disappointed I wasn't able to pick up a hard drive or the Queen's Shadow hardcover copy. Overall, not a terrible shopping trip, but I think that this is definitely our end for today. It's been enough time out in the world searching for non-essential Star Wars items. So I think our best bet for right now is to head back home and start diving into the Obi-Wan and Anakin comic editing so that we can get that plot summary up on the YouTube channel this week. And then I really want to start diving into the book Queen's Shadow. All right, guys, so let this close, I guess. All right, guys, so a couple days later now, we were able to finish up the Obi-Wan and Anakin comic plot summary, and we got that up on YouTube, so that is up right now. I was able to get through all of Queen's Shadow, and I actually built those Boba Fett Legos while I listened to the audiobook. So that was a fun way to experience building Legos and listening to an audiobook. Really fun. But I ended up getting through all of that book, so my brief kind of thoughts on Queen's Shadow. It is a pretty cool book, and it's really cool if you like stories about Padme. But it doesn't necessarily feel like it's a full, complete story. It really just feels like it's a bunch of strung together stories from Padme's life. There's not really an overall kind of tying together, unifying plot. Still a lot of cool detail in there. Still a lot of cool stuff to see Padme in her journey from being queen to being senator. But I don't think it was totally necessary. I don't think it was totally needed, and it just didn't capture me, even like Queen's Peril did. While I thought Queen's Peril really relied too much on episode 1, I felt like that at least had a full, complete sort of story arc where this one really didn't. Not saying that it's a bad book, but compared to some of the other books we've read, like Master and Apprentice, or even some other stuff outside of the canon timeline binge that we haven't gotten to yet, like E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka novel, those all felt like they had a full, complete story arc, and this just didn't necessarily give me that feel. Still a good book, but just not one of my favorites. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out this first
canon collector vlog. Hopefully we're going to be doing a bunch more of this stuff. If you like this, make sure to give this video a like. And if you want to see more of our Star Wars content, make sure to subscribe to our channel. As always, guys, may the spires keep you and may the Force be with you. See ya.